I'd like to start off this video. Oops, almost dropped it. I made this hatchet cover completely by myself because the other one, the one I had for it, it was made out of duct tape, and it just wasn't very functional. And I reminded myself of my first video, do things just to do things. And now I've got a functional hatchet cover, which is pretty cool. I really like this hatchet. But today's video, I'm gonna have to give credit to Alan Watts for kind of the premise of it. He's well, he didn't even really know what to call himself other than a rascal. I would call him a philosopher, a man with insight, a man with great depth of thinking. I would highly recommend you to Google him and just learn about his life, maybe listen to some of the talks that he gave, and maybe eventually read some of the books. I finished one of his books and I'm reading another. But he hits you with the premise of, like, what is it? Very broad question, right? Very broad. What is it? What are you talking about? And what I'm talking about is it. The it that we mean when we say it is cold outside. What is? What's cold? What is it? Outside is cold. Why don't we say that? We say it is cold outside. It is raining outside. It is hard. We use this it to refer to this just common understanding. It is cold outside, referential to outside. But what is it? And so when you take that sentence structure, it is cold outside. It is the subject, is the verb, cold is the adverb, and outside is the adjective. So outside modifies it. It is not outside because outside is modifying it because it's the adjective. Right? In this sentence structure, it is noun, verb, adverb, adjective. Very common whenever you use it. And we use it to describe things, but it is the noun. Right? So, where am I getting at with all of this? I'm getting to it. But it is now. It is now. And I don't mean that in a sentence structure. It is quite literally now. This present moment, which for you is right now. For me, it's in the past because you're watching this video. Therefore, since you are not here, you are not experiencing my now. But my now is what you're watching right now. Your now is just a collection of photons that have been superimposed onto the lens of this phone camera that I'm watching, and then transposed into pixels that appear on your screen. Just like from my eyes right now, looking at the camera, my eyes are taking photons. They're hitting my retina. My optic nerve takes account of all of it, and then my brain synthesizes all of this information. So my eyes are not actually my eyes. What do I mean by that? My eyes are a sensory organ that evolved through millions of years of cells that were sensitive to photons. But my eyes cannot see themselves because they are the instrument that provides sight. Therefore, it can't see itself. My ears cannot hear themselves because it is the thing that is picking up noise. My tongue cannot taste itself. I cannot touch the tip of this finger with the tip of this finger. That is what I mean by it. That is it. It's now. And the beautiful part of that is it is only now. Nothing else. If I say it will rain tomorrow, on whose authority am I saying it will rain tomorrow? Because as we all know, we've canceled plans for weather that never comes, and our plans have been canceled by weather that was never forecasted. So to refer to it in the future is improper. It will be cold. It will be hot. It will be easy. Now that's a different one. It will be easy. You're just stating reality in the future as if it's fact, as if it is now and it's not. Two people go through the same experience. One says, it was miserable. The other says, it was fun. Who's correct? It is it. And now, it no longer is. Because it is no longer it. It is logically correct to live now. And it's also impossible not to live now, but I'll get beyond that because we as humans have this superiority complex that somehow we are outside of nature, somehow we are outside of the universe, that we must conquer it, that we must bend it to our will, which is hilarious. The carbon in my cells was forged in a star. Every single building block of myself was forged in a star. Every single building block of myself existed on planet Earth. The carbon in my cells comes from plants. The oxygen in the air that we breathe comes from plants. The water that we drink comes from the combination of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Hydrogen exists because it is the most abundant element in the universe and it is the first element to get created in a star. We are so much a part of now that we have never, ever, ever been a part. We are as much of this universe as my foot is my body. But my foot is not my hand. And my hand is not my shoulder. And my shoulder is not my eyes. Yet they're all me. And so I am not the universe. You are not the universe. Nobody's the universe. But we are. Just like my hand is a part of my body, we are a part of the universe. Inseparable, in fact. Not a distinct part of the universe, but literally just a part of the universe, as my finger is to my hand. And the English language doesn't do a good job at that because we describe things as nouns too much. We use now and it as like these nouns. Like when we say it is raining outside, that's raining is happening. Raining is happening. That would be a better way to describe it. And that's where English's limitation is. Because, for example, and this also is coming from Alan Watts, what happens to my fist when I open my hand? Where did the fist go? Well, it's a noun. Fist is a noun. Where did it go? If it's so real, where did it go? And that's the exact same as the present, and the past, and the future. Past and future are these two words that we created for ourselves to describe something that's not real. Something that theoretically is there. This is a fist, right? We know this is a fist. What else would it be called? Well, whatever we agreed upon, but this is a fist. Where did it go? So, the past and present are as real as my fist right now. It's not there until it is, or until it was. And us as three-dimensional beings, not being able to exist throughout time, but only being able to exist in time, we lack this fundamental understanding of time. We treat time as a currency. We treat time as if it's this this path, this linear path. There's no option other than to go through time. I cannot, for the life of me, slow down time. I can speed it up. Just do something fun. Yeah, so that's how, like, time is just this this construct that we've had to measure seconds. A lot of people think now is when they check their watch. I'm not wearing one right now, but when you imagine the ticks of the second hand, they imagine that now is just that second hand. It's just a measurement. I can't hand you 20 inches. I can't gift you 10 seconds. I can't pick up a mile and say, here you go. Because it has to be in relation to something. And so, in order for me to give you 20 inches of something, it has to be wood, leather, metal, 20 inches of a tape measure, 20 inches of fabric. If I wanted to give you 20 seconds, well, that's even a lot harder because time is not mine to manipulate. But these measurements, if I were to give you a tablespoon of sugar, I can give you it of something. Which is why we say it is raining outside. Think about that for a second. I cannot give you it. You cannot know it. The it that becomes spoken is no longer it. Do me a favor and look up the Tao. I think it's a fascinating concept, spelled T-A-O. Look that up, and you'll start to understand where my thought process is going. I don't have the time to explain it. I mean, I do, but you don't want to watch that long of a video. You can never understand it, but you can if I say it is fun. You know exactly what I'm talking about because we are both experiencing now. If you were sitting here right now and we went and did something, and we say to each other, man, it is fun. you know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes no other further description. And so when we say the word, I just don't get it, it's because you've had it. You've had it the entire time. It is impossible to not have it because it's now. It is now. And so when you're thinking of all of this stuff and you're just slammed with all of these anxieties and you just feel like you're behind. Behind what? Behind who? Behind where? Behind when? You're not behind. You're not ahead. Because if you were behind, then you would be constantly lagging behind everybody else. But if you were behind, the world you exist in would have already happened and you'd just be constantly reacting. Which is why we say we're behind, because we feel like we're constantly reacting. But the difference between reacting and acting is understanding your role in the present. Reacting is being submissive to your role in the present. When we like to say become proactive, I just need to get ahead of what? What can you get ahead of? Because I'll tell you right now, if you could be ahead of me in time, you would be the wealthiest person on the planet because you could see every gamble before it pays off. You could see every stock before it rose. You could see every single winning lottery ticket before it happened. So if you were really ahead, we'd know. We're all right here. And people who think they're getting ahead, all they're doing is just absolving their responsibility for the present, and they're taking on the responsibility for the future. The issue with that is the future doesn't exist, number one. Number two, it's unpredictable. And finally, number three, you've absolved yourself of the present. So if you're getting out ahead of this, you are no different from the person that's behind. Because the absolute value relative to the present is the same. Absolute value, too, is both 2 and negative 2. Absolute value of ahead is behind. And so if you keep trying to get ahead of things, you find yourself in a similar but opposite state of being behind. That is, the similarity is you are not living in the present. And you don't get it. Because if you're living in the future, you're actively deciding not to get it. Let me rephrase that. If you're living in the future, you're avoiding not getting it. And if you're living in the past, you are also avoiding not getting it. Just in 2 different ways. We value getting ahead because of our time is currency. So if you get ahead, then therefore you have more time. And we put a monetary value to time, so therefore you have more money, and we associate more money with higher status. And if you're behind, we devalue that because we associate less time to do things with less money, and therefore we associate people with less money with lower status. And the people in the middle are just weird. Right? Because none of us are true, like, what I think enlightenment is just getting it. Entirely simplified. But there are people truly in the present, and that is enlightenment, right? Is truly being in the present, and it is separate from religion. It is entirely separate from religion. Enlightenment is in the middle. And all the time we vacillate like a pendulum swing. That's huge. Think about pendulums. So it's just living now. That is it. That's what we mean by it. That's what we mean by it is hard. Oh, what's it like? Oh, it's difficult. Meaningless. But we are limited by the confines of our vocabulary. We are limited by the confines of language. And language is the first thing we are taught as children. And so we grow up at a disadvantage. Because before we were taught anything, we got it just fine. And then the tools that we were given made us forget that we had it this entire time. You never lost it. It doesn't have to be found.